The sleek black Tesla pulled up in front of Haven Point Medical Center, a facility known more for innovation than fanfare. The door swung open and out stepped Robert Downey Jr., designer jacket, perfectly tousled hair, and that unmistakable RDJ swagger. His assistant, Jordan, jogged up beside him. All set inside. Quick visit, quick photo, everyone's happy. Robert smirked. Famous last words. They entered to the discreet VIP entrance. No red carpet. No cameras. Just clean floors, quiet halls, and the faint scent of antiseptic. A nurse greeted them with a polite smile. "Good morning, Mr. Downey. Please have a seat. Dr. Ellison will be with you shortly." Robert blinked. "Wait? Like actually wait?" "Yes, sir. She's finishing with a patient." He turned to Jordan. "I haven't waited for anything since the second Iron Man. This must be serious." He took a seat anyway, hands folded, gaze flicking between the minimalist art on the walls and the clock ticking above reception. 5 minutes passed. Then 10. Then 20. Jordan leaned in. "Want to check again?" Robert waved it off. "Nope. If this is a test, I'm acing it. Calm, cool, courteous." At minute 29, the doors opened. In walked Dr. Maya Ellison, sharp-eyed, confident, no nonsense. She wore sneakers with her scrubs and looked like she hadn't slept more than 4 hours in weeks, but still carried herself like a general. "Mr. Downey," she said, extending a hand. "Apologies for the delay." He stood and shook it. "No worries. Just lost feeling in one leg, but I'm still charming." She offered a polite smile. "We appreciate your visit. I understand you're here to see our new pediatric program." Robert nodded. "Yep, heard you're revolutionizing care. I'm also hoping to meet one of the kids, get a photo, share the story, raise awareness. Win-win, right?" There was a pause. Dr. Ellison didn't nod. "I'm afraid that won't be possible. We don't allow photography with patients. It's a strict policy, privacy first." Robert blinked. "Oh, I mean, I get it, consent and all that, but I've done hundreds of these visits. This is what people want to see, me connecting, showing I care." "I don't doubt that," she said. "But we built trust here by promising that no matter who walks through our doors, celebrity or civilian, no one's privacy is for sale." A beat. Robert tilted his head. "I'm not here to sell anything. I'm here to help. One picture could generate 1,000 donations. Isn't that worth bending the rule just this once?" Dr. Ellison didn't flinch. "And what about the next time? When it's a senator, a CO, a royal? Every exception weakens the system we're building." Robert's jaw tensed. "Just for a second. I've helped raise millions for hospitals. Visited burn wards, chemo units. It's never been a problem before." She stepped closer, eyes level. "Maybe that's the problem." The silence in the room shifted. No one raised their voice, but something in the air had changed, like static before a storm. Robert folded his arms. "Let me guess. You think I'm just here for the PR." Dr. Ellison shrugged. "I think you're used to get what you want, and I think you probably care more than people give you credit for. But here, we protect people who can't protect themselves. That comes first." He looked at her. For a moment, the performance dropped. "You know, you're the first person to say no to me in maybe a decade." "You're welcome," she said dryly. He almost laughed. "This hospital runs on donations, right? What if I pull the funding?" Dr. Ellison didn't blink. "Then we adapt. This place was built on principles, not handouts." Robert looked around the room. Quiet again. No press, no cameras, no fans. Just a hallway where people came to heal, and a doctor who wouldn't budge. He wasn't sure if he was angry or impressed. Robert Downey Jr. leaned against the edge of the nurse's station, arms crossed, lips pursed like he was weighing a script rewrite. Across from him, Dr. Maya Ellison stood her ground, hands in her coat pockets, spine straight as a steel beam. "So let me ask you this," Robert said finally. "You've got a program that's clearly working. Kids getting better faster, families not waiting months for treatment. But nobody outside these walls knows about it." "We're okay with that," Dr. Ellison replied. Robert raised a brow. "Okay with not getting credit?" That's not very American of you. She cracked a faint smile. It's not about credit. It's about care. Jordan, Robert's assistant, leaned in. Sir, we could pivot. Maybe just film the facilities? The equipment? A statement from the doctor? Robert waved him off. Hang on. I'm not here for a vanity reel. I'm here because people need to see where their money goes. We raised $8 million last quarter. Donors want faces, not just figures. Dr. Ellison took a breath. I understand the pressure, but let me show you something instead of explaining. She pulled a tablet from her coat and tapped the screen, holding out to him. Charts and metrics flickered to life. Since we implemented our system, she began, our pediatric recovery rates are up 27%. ER wait times down by 40%. Staff satisfaction through the roof. All while keeping costs 18% below the national average. Robert scanned the data, brow furrowed. Okay, that's legit. You're making miracles look boring. That's the problem, she said. We've made real, quiet progress. But because it doesn't trend on TikTok, it's invisible. He looked up, then helped me make it visible. I will, she said, but on our terms. No patients, no names, just the system, the people behind the scenes. You can film the tech, interview the nurses, show the process, not the product. Robert sighed. You're really not going to give me even one smiling kid? Nope, not even one from the back. She didn't even blink. Robert looked away, frustrated. He walked a few paces down the hallway, past a mural drawn by children. Stick figures, suns with sunglasses, rainbows over cartoon hospitals. He stopped. You know, he said, turning back, I get it. I've been the product. For decades. The face, the name. And for a while, I liked it, lived for it. But somewhere along the way, it started feeling hollow. People looked at me and saw a brand, not a man. Dr. Ellison watched him, saying nothing. So, yeah, I wanted a photo, he continued. I wanted to help the world see this place through me. But maybe it's time they see it for what it is. No filter, no celebrity. She nodded slowly. That would be a first. He chuckled. Yeah, first time for everything. Jordan stepped forward. We got the crew ready outside. If we pivot now, we can shoot something before lunch. Dr. Ellison handed Robert a visitor's badge. Then let me show you what we built. You'll get your visuals, just not the ones you expected. He clipped the badge to his jacket. Lead the way, document. As they walked down the corridor, cameras trailing at a respectful distance, Dr. Ellison pointed out the innovations. Modular exam rooms designed by trauma psychologists, real-time monitoring dashboards, wellness centers for staff burnout prevention. Robert absorbed it all, nodding, asking smart questions, occasionally cracking a joke to keep things human. But behind the charm, he was listening, really listening. At one point, a janitor passed by. Robert stopped him. Hey, can I ask you something? The man blinked. Sure. You like working here? The janitor grinned. Yeah, best gig I've had. They treat you like a person, not a position. Robert smiled, genuine this time. That's what I'm going to tell Congress. Robert Downey Jr. stood in the heart of the innovation wing, cameras rolling quietly from a far corner. The polished floors reflected the soft LED lights above and behind him. Transparent panels revealed a calm, coordinated hospital system ticking like a well-kept clock. Dr. Maya Ellison stood beside him, arms at her sides, composed as ever. We good? Robert asked his crew. Jordan gave a thumbs up. Live in 30 seconds. Robert adjusted the collar of his jacket. Just one thing before we roll, Doc. Anything off limits in what I say? You're not in a Marvel movie, she said. Be honest. He grinned. Ouch. Noted. The red light blinked on. Robert turned to the camera, charisma dialed to 11, but this time tempered with something quieter, conviction. Hey everyone, Robert Downey Jr. here. I just wrapped a visit at one of the most innovative, patient-first hospitals in the country. And let me tell you, it's not about fancy machines or shiny buildings. Though they've got those, it's about trust. It's about people. He paused, glancing toward Dr. Ellison off camera. No photo ops today. No grand tours with smiling kids. Because what they're doing here isn't about performance. It's about principle. And that, honestly, blew me away. Behind the scenes, Dr. Ellison watched him carefully. This was the moment. Either he would stick to his word or pivot to showmanship. But Robert continued, I came here thinking I'd need a picture to prove something. But the real proof is this. 27% faster recoveries, 40% shorter wait times, and a culture where even the janitor says he feels valued. Jordan raised a brow at that. They built that not by chasing headlines, Robert said, but by protecting what matters most, privacy, dignity, and care without compromise. He nodded toward Dr. Ellison, now stepping into frame. And I'm proud to say, we're taking what I saw here to Washington. Together, Maya added, we're pushing for a federal policy that backs this model. Hospitals that prioritize people, not profits. Equal care from Beverly Hills to Baton Rouge. Robert looked at her, then back at the camera. It won't be easy. Nothing good ever is. But we've got the numbers. We've got the team. And now we've got the story. The red light clicked off. Silence. Jordan gave a small clap. The crew followed, restrained but clearly moved. Maya turned to Robert. That was surprisingly non-theatrical. He raised his hands in surrender. Hey, I'm evolving. She smirked. You should do that more often. As the press filed into the lobby, Robert pulled her aside. We'll need to coordinate on messaging for Capitol Hill. Make sure they hear it right. You're serious about this, she said, searching his face. Robert didn't blink. I don't play doctors. I'm partnering with one now. That makes this real. A reporter from a major network approached. Mr. Downey, quick question. Why no patient footage? Robert didn't hesitate. Because the real story isn't what you see, it's what you don't see. And sometimes, the most heroic things happen off camera. Cameras flashed. Reporters scribbled notes. But Robert had already turned away, joining Dr. Ellison as they walked back toward the wing. This is how we scale it, he said quietly. We don't just build more hospitals. We change the standard. Welcome to the team, she replied. He grinned. I never thought I'd say this, but I think I just played the best role of my life. Capitol Hill buzzed like a beehive on a caffeine drip. Staffers rushed through marble hallways. Aides whispered behind folders, and every corner echoed with the tension of budget season. Robert Downey Jr. sat across from Senator Lorraine Beckett, one of the most powerful voices on the Health and Human Services Committee. Her expression, skeptical. Her eyebrows, razor sharp. You want us to fund a model with no public-facing proof? No media coverage? No voters smiling into cameras? She said, flipping through a dossier Robert had handed her. Robert, this isn't Hollywood. We sell policies with images, not spreadsheets. Robert leaned forward, hands steepled. That's the old playbook. This hospital model doesn't chase optics. It delivers outcomes, real ones. Senator Beckett raised an eyebrow. And you expect us to take that on faith? No, he said calmly. I expect you to take it on data. Recovery times, readmission drops, staff retention, community health indicators. It's all in there. She tapped the edge of the folder. So you and this doctor, Ellison, right? You're saying we rewrite national policy based on a single hospital. Robert didn't flinch. We scale the framework. Start with 10, then 100. Make it conditional. Hospitals can opt in, but only if they meet strict metrics. Beckett leaned back. Strict metrics are one thing. Strict ethics? That's harder. They're already doing it, he replied, and not for applause. A brief silence settled over the room. Then Beckett's tone softened. You believe in this? Robert nodded. For the first time in a long time, yeah, it's not a performance. It's a principle. Beckett sighed. That's going to be your hardest sell. Meanwhile, in L.A., Dr. Maya Ellison stood at the podium of a packed healthcare innovation summit. Flashes popped as she presented the model they'd built, walking the audience through clean interfaces, patient trust contracts, and real-time outcomes from their system. This isn't a fantasy, she said. We built it with tight budgets and zero compromises. Our staff didn't get more pay, they got more purpose. And guess what? They stayed. The room murmured, a skeptical voice from back. And how do you guarantee scale? Maya smiled. By making the system bigger than the personality driving it. Laughter, applause, and then her phone vibrated. Message from Robert. Senator Beckett's in. Barely. We've got a draft bill. One shot. DC needs your voice. 1 week later, Washington. The Senate chamber felt more like a battlefield than a legislative body. Lobbyists circled. Think tanks whispered. But Robert and Maya stood side by side as the Health Equality and Protection Standards, HEPS, Act was introduced. This bill, the speaker said, aims to fund pilot programs across 15 states, each based on the downtown care model pioneered in California. Reporters hounded them outside the chamber. Robert, what if it fails? He smiled. Then we try again. Dr. Ellison, how will you ensure hospitals don't abuse the funding? She replied, by tying every dollar to outcomes, not promises. We don't reward potential, we reward proof. That night, in a quiet corner of a DC rooftop, Robert sipped a coffee beside Maya, the Capitol dome glowing behind them. You ever think we'd get this far? He asked. She shrugged. I thought we'd get shut down before your second tweet. He laughed. Hey, I only tweeted once. She gave him a look. From 5 accounts, he added. They both chuckled, the city humming softly beneath them. Then Maya turned serious. Tomorrow's vote might go either way. Robert nodded, but we showed them something real. And that's how change starts. Not with a bang, but with a blueprint.